are looking to get into sales, I'm gonna tell you like this. Check out Course Careers. Check out Course Careers. It's going to give you the foundation that you need in order for you to get into a sales role, an entry-level sales role as a sales development rep, business development rep. Either way, if you're interested in the sales and you are even above that, this will still give you a strong foundation so that you can speak the language and understand what the sales process is like. Check out Course Careers. Use Antoine's 50 discount code so that you can get $50 off. And I'm gonna tell you like this, I don't partner with people that don't provide value. Course Careers is a company that provides value, and I stand by the product. Lots of wins, lots of wins, lots of wins in the Black Heights community and outside of the community that has gone through it and gotten full-time jobs. Brother Akire, who's gonna be on the show in the next 2 weeks to come on here and tell his story, completed Course Careers, is now working at Shop Monkey, crushing it, absolutely crushing it. And he's gonna come on this platform to tell his story, how he was able to transition out of automotive sales into tech sales. And he's like, Antoine, I'm telling you, man, you opened my eyes out to a lot. You opened my eyes up to a lot. And I'm so happy that you did. And I would say this, I'm so happy that Brother Akire put in the work and got it done. We're also going to shout out to Brother Greg. Brother Greg, we're going to call him Decoder Greg. And Brother Greg, he's in a tech sales role, or he's in a tech support role right now, but he took Course Careers and now he is door-to-door selling solar units. He's going to make that transition over to tech eventually, but his friend was able to get him a role into selling door-to-door solar systems, which is something that is going to be the future and continues to grow. And that's his path in order for him to get the confidence that he needs to reach out to people and to become more social and to grow his people skills and so forth. So shout out to Brother Greg for doing the exact same thing, taking Course Careers, choosing a different path, not going directly into B2B sales, but B2C sales, door-to-door, knocking, selling solar panels. And last but not least, we're going to shout out to a young lady who sent me an Instagram the other day that just warmed my heart. It warmed my heart. And the reason why it warmed my heart, because she said, Antoine, I've been watching you for the last couple of months. I've, been a house cleaner and, didn't have the confidence to break into tech, to break into sales. And I'm in tech sales right now, Antoine. I said, wow, fantastic story. She literally watched the videos, got on LinkedIn, took the sales training, reached out to people, and now she went from becoming a house cleaner, doing that, to having a full-time role into tech sales, guys. Having a full-time role into tech sales, making over $65,000 a year. All it cost her was $500, $450, because she used the Antoine code, okay? That's a significant return on her investment. And she has the confidence to continue to push in her career to get to the next level. But it was just a fantastic story that she shared with me on Instagram, which I don't usually do Instagram very much, but I got it, I loved it, and I wanted to talk about it today. So we had a lot of people to shout out today because it was a fantastic week and a lot of success overall. And I'm just proud of each and every one of these individuals for putting in the work and getting it done. Let's get to the money, y'all. I know there's others that are out there as well too. There are others that are out there as well too. But those are the ones that came to mind just now, and I wanted to just call that out. Guys, we got a show for you today. I want to talk about a gentleman that is the CEO of PF Chang's. I talked about him before on this channel, and he talks about his daily routine, how it starts at 5 a.m. with a workout and ends with a cigar on the patio. You guys know I love to smoke cigars, and I love people who are driven and break barriers. So we're going to talk about the routine of CEO Damala Adam Nuclean. We're going to talk about his daily routine because if you have a strong daily routine, getting up, doing the same things over and over again, you're going to continue to make progress and you're going to continue to get to this money. So we're going to talk about him. We're also going to be talking about the job of a CRO. You guys are probably wondering what a CRO is. Well, that's a Chief Revenue Officer. Many of you guys who are getting into sales, you're reporting into some sort of manager, some sort of director, whoever it is. But ultimately, the organization leads up to the CRO, Chief Revenue Officer, okay? And as you continue to climb the ladder, CROs can make a shitload of money. And for companies that are small, startups, you could be making $290,000 plus, learning, growing sales teams, and so forth. So we're going to talk about a role of a CRO, something that you guys have probably never heard of, but now you're going to learn what that role is. And if you are passionate about sales and getting to this money, a place that you can go is a CRO role. You can also do it working for startups, smaller companies, having a fast track to a larger organization where you can be making millions of dollars a year. We're also going to be talking about cloud salaries as well. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about private equity salaries. And these are the salaries of tech individuals. These are the salaries of tech individuals. You already know that we talk about different roles in tech, whether it's sales, whether it's cloud, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it's executive level and so forth. But the roles that we're talking about, I want to bring it to you, the salaries, because this is going to help you get to this money. It's going to help you get to this money. A lot of conversations that I have with individuals and coaching sessions are about, Antoine, what can I do in my career? I need to make a certain amount of money. I've had 2 to 3 coaching calls, even one with a cousin of mine who reached out and booked my time, just get out of the military. It was like, Antoine, my mom said you were doing good. And, I just got out of the military, want to have a path. Right now, I'm doing pretty well working at ADP, but I need to know what's next for me, what's out there, what's possible, right? I'm like, how much money are you making right now? He's like, just shy of 50. And I'm like, okay, well, how much money you want to be making? He's like, well, $68,000 or whatever it is would be just fine for me. I'm like, your target is too low. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, your target is too low. Do you know anything about tech salaries? And he's like, no, I don't know anything about tech. I don't know. I'm like, well, you've been in the Army. You have some of the assets, communication skills, discipline, and so forth that will transfer into many tech roles such as project management, data analytics, information security, cloud, all sorts of things that you can transition into, whether you're on the technical side or the business side. And I started to just talk about salaries and so forth. And by the time we were done with the conversation and I shared with him my story, he was just in awe about how much money there is out there to be made. How much money there is out there to be made. Eyes open. So now a target of $68,000 a year is no longer his target. He may have come from a family, or we may come from a family where we may be the person that is doing the best inside that family. We may be making $100,000 a year, right? But I want you guys to know that there's more to be made out here. I was listening to our boy Gary Vee, and he was talking about how corporations are going to have a challenge because Generation Z knows how to get to this money. There's so many ways that you can get to this money, whether it's having a podcast, real estate, W-2 job, combination of all, coaching, whatever it is. There's so many ways that you can get to this money. And I'm coming to you with the tech route, but you can leverage your W-2 like I have, invest in other areas to continue to get to this money. So going back to the story, his vision is or has expanded. No longer $68,000 a year I'm comfortable with. Had another coaching session earlier this week as well, and a gentleman, excellent sales professional, but in outside of tech, crushing it. And the business that he's in is dying. And he's like, Antoine, my best years I've done 200. I'm like, my worst years I've done 200. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, my worst years I've done 200. He's like, man, after I shared with him the opportunities there are into tech roles, whether it's project management, data analytics, data science, machine learning, AI, cybersecurity. His mind was just so blown. And I say this, I don't know why we haven't spoken about this earlier. Our previous generations, leaders and so forth, just did not do a good job at communicating roles and salaries and ability to rise up and get to this money and have a seat at the table. They haven't done a good job at it. Maybe it's because they just didn't do it and push for it. But I heard before that we couldn't do it. Now, the story has changed, the narrative has changed. You see somebody like myself doing it. You all are doing it. I'm coming back and sharing stories of the individuals who I just spoke about that are doing it. We all can get to this money, guys. I don't know what situation that you're in, whether you're working in a warehouse, you're working at UPS and you're sick of your job. There's a place for you in tech. There's a place for you in tech. There's a place for you in sales. There's a place for you in cloud, information security, and so forth. You have to just understand where you want to go. If you don't understand where you want to go, if you don't know how to understand where you want to go, talk to people. Talk to people. Communicate. Get into people's organizations, people's groups, people's Patreons. Join my Patreon. Talk to the folks that are doing remarkable things and understand what it's like to be in their roles. And then once you get a good understanding of what it's like, go down the path. Go down the path. If you don't know where to start, book a coaching session with me. www.bokheights.com. Easy. Career empowerment session, $79. Easy. Coaching session, $150. Easy. It's information that you can use to take the next step in your career to get to this money, guys. There's so many resources that are out there, that are out here, that there's no excuse anymore. There's no more goddamn excuses anymore. If you're not making the money that you want to make, it's because you haven't put in either enough time, you don't know what you want to do, you have this vision that's unclear. Set a path, do the steps, take the steps that you need to take to ultimately get there. And it's not going to happen overnight. I'm going to tell you like this, it's not going to happen overnight. That's one thing I want to share with you guys, is that it doesn't happen overnight. But everyday steps will lead you to getting where you want to get to. Everyday steps will lead to ultimately where you continue to grow and get to this money.